Okay, so today we're going to start our self-portrait unit. So I've got my supplies, I've got my paper, my sketchbook, my eraser, my pencils, my color pencils to use later. So the first thing I'm going to do for my portrait, I'm going to be using the whole paper because it's better for me to work with the larger space when I'm filling in my portrait. So the first thing I need to do is my face. So I'm just going to make a little mark on the top and a little mark almost towards the bottom because I'm only doing my head, neck, and my shoulders. And then I'm just gonna kind of lightly do like a backward C. And then or a C, and then I'm lightly gonna do a backward C. And I'm using a pencil so that if I make mistakes, I can erase it. So I'm going to go back and erase any of the extra stuff that I don't need. The lighter the pencil you use, the better. That way when you do make mistakes, you don't see the pencil lines underneath. So next I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to line up my face and make sure that everything is in the correct location. So I'm going to go ahead and just make a really light, very light line right in the middle. And this is going to be, you can't see that, so I'm going to do it with a pencil so you can see it, and then later you would erase it. So again, I'm going to use a pencil that's a darker color so you can see these lines. You are not doing this. So I'm just going to take a pencil and divide my face in half. And then I'm going to go ahead and take another pencil and divide it right down the middle the best that I can. If you want to use a ruler for this, you can. Again, you're using regular pencil for this and you're doing really light pencil because you will be erasing it. It's going to look really weird if I have all these lines on my face. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to also divide this section in half. So the middle is like right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put a line there. So I've got 1, 2, 3 lines. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to start to create my face. So my nose is going to go right here in the middle. My mouth is going to come down here. My eyes are going to be here, and my ears. Now I know it looks like there's a lot of space up here, but that's because my hair is going to start right about here. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to start with my nose first. So I'm just going to start around those 2 lines, and I'm just going to kind of make little lines that are going to go down, and then right when I get to the bottom of this green line, I'm going to start to do the sides of my nostrils, which are kind of like a C and a backward C. So I've got the bridge of my nose and I'm coming down to do one nostril, the bridge of my nose, and do another nostril. Then I can kind of come up and do like a little rainbow, another little rainbow, and then a U to kind of connect them in the middle there. And just do the best that you can. If you feel like you don't want both sides of the lines of the nose, that's fine. You could erase it and maybe only do one. Or if you prefer just to do something like this, that's also fine. Whatever you're comfortable with. But again, we shouldn't be doing like your typical L nose because we're in middle school now, so there's no reason for us to be drawing like that anymore. So next I'm gonna actually go out and do my ears. So my ears are on the same line as my nose. So I'm gonna come out here and my ears are kind of like long, skinny ovals. Most likely gonna get covered up on my hair anyways. Kind of like a skinny hot dog. All right, so next I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna do my eyes. My eyes are going to be roughly in this zone right here on both of these spots, right? I don't wanna make tiny little eyes because then it would get lost. So I'm just gonna go ahead, and the easiest way for me to make my eyes, I want my eyes to be on the top of this line. So I'm going to just make a rainbow. And again, they're not going to be even because your eyes are not actually symmetrical, perfectly symmetrical. And then I'm going to make an upside down rainbow. And again, just do the best that you can. Inside, it's almost like a football or like the shape of a lemon. So if you're working, when you're working, you can get a mirror and use a mirror to look at yourself so you can depict it correctly. And then I'm gonna go inside of that and I'm gonna do like a circle on both. And then I'm going to do a little dot in the middle for my pupil. Now again, do the best that you can. Take your time when you are doing your picture. Next, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do my eyelashes. My eyelashes are pretty small, but remember, whether I'm a boy or a girl, I still have eyelashes. So I'm just gonna add them to the end of my eyes on both sides. And I also need to add them underneath, right? Because this is a realist, I'm trying to make a portrait look as realistic as possible. And then I'm gonna come up above and I'm gonna make my eyebrows. So my eyebrows are gonna be right above my eyes, and I'm just gonna take my pencil and just do little lines to show the hairline. Almost like fuzzy rainbows. I'm just making little lines for my eyebrows. Now again, using your mirror, look at your mirror to see how it goes. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do my mouth. Remember, my mouth starts in the middle of my eye, my left eye, and goes all the ways over to my right eye. So I'm just gonna make a little dot here and a little dot here, just so I know that's how wide my mouth should be in correct proportion to my face. So the easiest way for me to make a mouth is I'm gonna kind of make like an M, another M for the top lip, and then a U. So it's almost like a bird that's in the sky, another bird, and then a U. Okay, and again, I don't want really tiny lips. They need to be larger than my nose, and they should go from the left side of the eye all the way to the right side. So I'm gonna go up towards the nose. Right when I get up towards the nose, I'm gonna kind of go down that little divot, look in the mirror, and then I'm gonna go back over. Same thing for the bottom of the first lip, and then I'm just gonna do like a U. I'm gonna go back and erase those little dots that I originally made. And I'm gonna keep going. So at this point, I've got my eyes, my nose, my mouth, my chin, or my ears. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and I'm gonna erase the line in the middle because I no longer need it. Then I'm just gonna go back and clean up. Now you're gonna do that with the pencil, so you won't see those green lines. My color pencils are not erasable, so that's why they're not really erasing. And I'm just tracing those lines again. All right, so I've got my ears, my mouth, and my nose. Now I've got to do my hair. So my hair starts at the top of my head. It actually starts like somewhere along here. Again, look in the mirror. And then everybody's hair comes down to their ears, unless you have your whole head shaved. And then I'm just gonna kind of make little lines that start at the top of my head and go down towards and behind my neck. My hair is really long, so I wanna make sure that I depict that. Okay, and then before I cover all of my picture with hair, I need to also do my neck. So my neck actually starts at my ears. So if you feel your neck and your ears, that's where your neck starts. So you want to make sure that it comes straight down. So I'm starting at my neck. It's coming straight down. And then I'm actually going to go out and off the page because my shoulders are larger than my head. I'm just going to draw myself a line for my neck. Okay? So now I've got my portrait. But because of 2020 and the way that life is right now, I think that we should take it one step further and add a mask. Because masks are required here in Virginia, so when we go out in public. So I think we should add a mask because that's appropriate for the time. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna, with my pencil, my mask, right? It goes around my ears. So I'm just gonna show from the bottom of my ear, it's gonna kind of go up towards my nose, back down towards my ear, and then of course it's gonna cover my whole chin or if you wanted maybe your mask to keep some of your chin exposed, however you want. So I'm gonna make my mask right here. So it's almost like a half circle. So now I'm actually gonna go in and erase the nose and the mouth that you cannot see behind my mask. Okay. So now what I want you to do is I want you to create a mask that represents you. Tell me something about you. What is your favorite thing to do? Maybe make your favorite pattern. However you want, I want you to add that to here. So maybe you love zigzags. Maybe you love art like me, and maybe you want to add like a paintbrush on it. But I encourage you to make a pattern or a design on your mask that represents something about you. And then I'm going to get ready to color it in. Now, before I color it in, I'm going to take a ballpoint pen or a black color pencil, and I'm going to trace all of the pencil lines. And the reason I'm doing this is because it's going to make my picture stand out a little bit more before I get ready to color it in. So I'm just going to trace all of those black lines, or all of those pencil lines, and make it almost like it's a coloring page. Now I'm not using a marker because I don't want it to go through my sketchbook paper. But I am going to go ahead and trace everything in black. So I went through and I traced everything in black, and I actually took my eraser and erased any extra pencil lines that I didn't trace over, because I don't need those and I don't want them to be visible when I start to color pencil my picture in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with my mask. So I'm going to use yellow and purple because they're complementary colors, and that's what I want to use. And again, just like I showed you before, I'm just going back and forth, filling in one space at a time, taking my time, kind of going the same direction. And now, because I've outlined everything in black, it's almost like I'm coloring in a coloring page. So I'm going to use my color wheel that I've created before to help me pick colors for my shirt and my mask. Colors that make the most sense and that will look visually appealing to the eye. So again, when you color your picture, make sure you are taking your time. Feel free to use your color wheel so you know what colors look best together. You can use colors that are next to each other. You can use colors that are across from each other, because remember, the colors that are across from each other are the complementary colors. And again, remember to really take your time. I'm looking for really nice coloring and good craftsmanship. Going in the same direction. Carefully filling in all that white space. Okay, so I finished my mask and I'm actually going to start coloring in my skin color and my hair. So look in the mirror and you need to try to match the best you can with your color pencils or crayons that you have. Now for skin color, I don't have any skin color crayons, so I'm going to do the best that I can with the color pencil colors that I have. So I want something that's going to match the back of my hand. So I want to try really hard to create a color that matches the back of my hand. So I'm going to got a couple like light peaches, and I'm going to use a brown. So I'm actually going to flip over my sketchbook so I don't make a mistake, and I'm just going to lightly go back and forth and kind of blend some of these colors together and see if I can find a color See, that's too dark. That maybe fits best for my skin color. I feel like that would look good with maybe a slight overlay of brown. So when I'm coloring in, I want to make sure that my colors are matching me because this is my self-portrait. So again, just really take your time. And when I'm coloring in with blending, it's just like when I'm painting. So I'm just going to do one color, probably the lighter color first. And then I'm slowly going to add that darker color on top. So really take your time when it comes to finding your skin color and creating that color that best matches your skin. So I'm just going to make sure I'm going in the same direction. Do the best that I can. I don't need to press very hard with my color pencils. And then go back over with that darker color. So then now that I've finished my skin color, I'm also going to try to find a color that best matches my eyes. My eyes are blue, so I'm going to lightly fill that space in. And then I'm going to pull a color brown for my hair. I have really dark brown hair, so I'm probably going to do brown with maybe a little bit of a light brown to kind of blend it together. And I encourage you to use two colors together when you do your hair. Just because it looks more natural when you do it that way. So I'm just going to take, well, I'm also going to do my eyebrows, right? Because my eyebrows are brown. So I'm just tracing that. My eyelashes are brown. So I'm going to do that. Okay. So now I'm going to take my brown and just like it was hair and little lines, I'm just going to slowly start to fill it in. I'm just doing little strokes of lines to make it look realistic for my hair. And then this is going to be the same. I would do the same thing if you have short hair or long hair. And then if you have curly hair, again, like look at your hair in the mirror and decide how you want to draw that and depict that on your paper. So I'm just doing little lines. I'm not filling it in like I did with my skin color. And then I'm going to go back with another brown. It's got one right here. I'm going to fill in the space in between. So I'm going to do the same thing. You know, those little lines. And now I'm filling it in and it's adding texture, having both of those colors. And it's adding that, it looks a little realistic. And if this is too light, I can go back and get some more dark brown. Again, I'm just filling in all those white spaces. Just adding in more lines for my hair. Don't forget that if you wear glasses, to add your glasses. If you want to add your headphones to show your, Zoom meetings and like online schooling, you can do that too. So now I need to fill in the background in my shirt. So this part, I want you to pull out that color wheel that you made and I want you to look at the colors. And I want you to pick two colors that are across from each other on the color wheel. So I've already picked yellow and purple. So I'm going to go ahead and pick blue because I really like blue. And I'm going to color in my shirt blue. And then because orange is the complementary color of because orange is the complementary color of blue, I'm going to color in the background blue. So I don't want you don't need to do any details in the background. Just pick one solid color. And then with your shirt and your background, you can color it in any way you want, but try to use those complementary colors. And again, I'm filling in the same direction, like side to side, and I'm filling in all the white space as I go around my hair and carefully fill in my shirt. So now I'm almost done. I do notice some white spots in the background that are still visible, so I am going to go back with my color pencil and try to fill those in just so it's a little bit more even so that you can't see as many of the pencil lines, so that it looks more fluid And then I'm complete with my portrait. So again, I encourage you to add all the details. If you wear earrings all the time, if you always wear reading glasses to help you read, then you need to be wearing those and drawing those in your sketch for this assignment. Tell me what color hair you have, what color eyes do you have, and then using your color wheel, use that color wheel to help you figure out the complementary colors for both your mask and your shirt and your background. Can't wait to see your portraits.